Would you mind giving us a rundown on who you are and touch on your journey with Bricklink as a full-time Lego reseller?
Sure. All right. So it all started in, 2016. And I sell on eBay, and that's where I started it, obviously on eBay. I was selling there for Lego figures for a few months after my son, he wanted some figures, and I went ahead and bought it for him, like a big bulk lot of it. And he took what he wanted, and I sold, it was a $25 investment. I sold the rest and made like $100 or something. And I just kept on buying more. And then a few months into that journey on eBay, somebody was saying, well, your prices are a little higher than Bricklink. And I was like, what is Bricklink? What is this? And then I discovered it, and I started buying stuff like crazy to complete figures. And then, so I got into this business by like just total accident. I always say that, like, how did I get to this point? But it was a job I could do while I worked my other job. I was at home doing like customer service for health insurance or healthcare stuff. So I could do both jobs at the same time and manage it pretty well. I guess, it got to a point, it was 3.5 years ago, where I was working 65 hours a week and one job had to go. And this is the job I have more freedom with, obviously. December of 2018, that was 6 years ago, I built the first wall that you see behind me, this one right here. And then that was the start of my YouTube channel as well. This one of my first videos, building it. But I did like a 3-video series and a final video putting it all together. And that's what all started. I started this vlog in March of 2019. So we're going on, it was 5 full years in March of this year. It'll be 6 years in March. Yeah, I've been full-time for 3.5 years. I hit 1 million pieces in my store for the first time. I don't have any other employees other than my son, who's 16. He's been working for last year consistently, at least 12 hours a week. And he has one friend that comes over on 1 day a week for 4 hours. So I get up to like 20 hours a week of help. And I had over 2,500 Lego listings on eBay this past year, plus having 1 million parts in my Bricklink store. And I'm usually done shipping most days before 9 a.m. And my average sales on both combined are somewhere between 600 to 1,000 a day.
You kind of mentioned there that for the last 2 years you've been saying you're going to get out of it, but obviously it's kind of, things keep coming in, stores keep building, you end up needing more and more space. So you obviously bought another store along the way there as well. What is your your end game in terms of getting out, slowing down, not getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do it all?
Well, I'm not saying I'm getting out of selling Lego, getting out of the vlogs is what I was saying in general, but there is like a getting out of some of the Lego where it's, not getting up at 5 in the morning. I get up at 5 in the morning on Saturdays as well, and usually work till about 9 a.m. when the family starts getting up. I go up and I pretty much have the whole Saturday with them, but the more I do get up and sacrifice my own sleep on Saturdays, because that makes Mondays easier. But so I'm planning on cutting out Saturdays next year at some point. But yeah, my goal right now is to just get everything I own for sale. Even like the stuff behind me these are all like spare minifigure parts that I just keep rebuilding figures for eBay. I think I'm about 50% through them, just putting all the parts onto Bricklink. And that's part of my goal, is to get them all for sale. And then I have 4 big, huge bins of bulk Lego. If you're watching recent videos, that I'm just finally sorting. I did about 15 pounds this week. I think I can do up to 20 pounds a week, just doing it per like 8 to 10 hours a week. I found that I can sort about 2 to 3 pounds an hour if I'm really going at it, or it depends on the size of the pieces too. Like, there's so many different ways you could sell Lego. Like, you could just buy the new sets and just hold on to them for 3 to 5 years and then put them for sale. But you need space for that. I could be using this space for that, I guess, instead of how I use it. But I feel like I do, and like you guys do, we take the hardest road, the most work intensive road, by parting out Lego sets. There's so much work involved, and you need so much space to do it. It just seems never ending. Like there's never an end to it. Like where are we going to go when we run out of room?
Obviously, it started with minifigures, so that kind of makes sense why they kind of feature so much in the vlogs and stuff like that. Do you have a system for remembering the parts that are coming in to which you're trying to complete? Because it always bamboozles me how you remember all that stuff, because I'm getting orders in and going, what did I get that for?
I will show it to you if I can. I have 3 boxes. I got it closer. I have 3 boxes just like this, and I make these cards for eBay. I don't know if it's zooming in, but
Yeah,
That's good.
I put the name of the figure, the theme, the year it came out, the sets they're in, and the Bricklink minifigure number. And so I organize them by theme and alphabetically. So when something sells and I say, this is Chief Chirpa, I need a torso, I will just go to Bricklink right away, plug in the SW0236, and then just hit this heart on the torso and put this in the bin alphabetically where it goes. And it sometimes I get like 10 Bricklink orders over a course of a couple of days, and I'll process them all. It seems like it takes a whole day to do that. So I know what you mean. It just seems like you get a big order and it takes forever.
What's kind of an average week for you in regards to where you spend your time mostly?
Well, Mondays are a little different. Up at 5, and I'm usually done shipping between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. My goal usually is to rebuild, like these are the cards at my desk right here for eBay items that sold recently. I just take one at a time, pull it up. I pull up the image on eBay and try to rebuild this figure exactly what's here. So I try to get eBay like back in order, anything that sold, and get those parts on my wanted list. And that usually actually my son has been doing that for the last few months for me.
Which are the bits that you'd like the most of your kind of weekly process, and which one is the least favorite?
Ooh, that's a good one. Especially on Mondays, rebuilding the eBay store, I kind of dread doing these at certain times when the shipping is going so long. The reason is because of the Bricklink addiction. I want to get more parts of my numbers up on Bricklink, because I just shipped out a bunch of stuff and the numbers went way down. It's just something about it that I just want to get back to uploading on Bricklink. So, I mean, I guess my favorite, that really gets me going, is when I get new stuff in the mail specifically, and it's ready just to do a quick sort and start making a file and uploading it, right? I mean, if I had to have a least favorite, the thing I definitely just don't want to do, if I didn't have to, I guess would be shipping, because it takes you away from uploading. You'd want somebody to do that for you so you can do what you're best at. That's one thing about having help and figuring out. It's 2 teenage boys that help me, right? And I just go to their strengths. I don't make them do things I know they're not strong at, because it's not efficient for me. So even though there's some jobs that I don't want to do, but I don't really want them to do either, I just keep them on the jobs I know they're good at, and I just do the other stuff. Like,
is there a theme that you enjoy parting out the most? I mean, obviously there's ones that are more valuable than others, but is there a theme that you kind of favor?
To be honest, I do not favor Star Wars because of the color issues. The lack of color, I would say. That's I really enjoy, like, even the Disney princess or the Friends, just not because of the value, because it's actually bright and colorful, and it seems like you're seeing new colors all over the place, and it's easier to sort. You know what I mean? When you got those Star Wars, you have to like concentrate, like, okay, there's this white and this gray and this dark gray, and it gets kind of, if you have a ton of the same set, it's really like, it strains your mind. But colorful sets is what I have to answer that. But definitely ones that have felt lots of minifigures too. I mean, who doesn't want a set with 10 minifigures? I don't know how I'm going to attack this Lego business after I get everything for sale, but I feel like there's a better way, a more efficient way. And every time I buy something, I want to get it and within 3 days have it all for sale. That's unrealistic, but I'm thinking of it. You buy 50 pounds, you're not getting it for sale in 3 days, but getting it processed without buying a bunch more keep on coming in. You know what I mean? I want to get to that point where it's just like never, I got to do this work because I got to pay this because I just spent $4,000 on this collection. I got to get it done immediately. I want to be able to plan it as like a job, work at it for how many days it takes, and then move on to whatever I want to do next, but still selling Lego, not like I'm moving on from Lego, just exploring what I enjoy the most.
You mentioned right at the beginning that you weren't into Lego at all, and it was just like this thrift store purchase. Have you gotten into it since and got things that you've kind of, like most of us are hoarders in some shape or form, sets that you've put aside that you think, oh, I'm keeping this one for me?
Yeah, that's a question that I get a lot when I'm at like the Lego shows or conventions. They ask me what my house looks like, and I tell them, well, I show them like on Instagram the pictures down here, and they're like, "What, do you build a lot?" I'm like, "No, I built the Lego stands that I use at the shows. I built those." I mean, we have a couple we have the holiday train and the winter station that came out 5-6 years ago, and we put those together. We didn't do it last year because of the little girl, but we usually put those together every year together and have a little train set up. But that's the extent that I have. I mean, I at one point I held on to, Cloud City Boba Fett for about 3 years that I found that I literally got for $5. And then I had a bunch of old rare Star Wars in a case, and I eventually just sold them all at Brick World Chicago 2 years ago. I have a Series 1 CMF over here in a case, all the first series with the circus clown and all those in there, but that's for sale at the right price. Everything is for sale. I have like 35 clocks, these Lego clocks. You see Lloyd back here and Savaggio press over my shoulder. Those are for sale. I mean, except Lloyd, he's my sidekick in my videos, but as you know, but at one point, the white prototype Boba Fett that came in that Star Wars book, at one point I bought 150 of them for $3 each. Yeah, wow. I don't know why I sold most of them for under $20, like probably 15. And they were just flying off the shelves. I'm like, well, I got to get the better, they were going for like 20 or 25 at the time. Like, well, it was early in my business, right? I wanted to I got it for a great deal. I wanted to get that money back in to buy other things, right? It worked for me. But if I would have just held on to 50 of those, man, those things are expensive. And
I run our Bricklink store from my private residence as well. Separate building though, in a shed outside of the main home. I hope to one day leave the shed and be in a commercial building. Do you ever see yourself getting that far into Bricklink?
So if early on when I started my YouTube channel, I did my first ever Bricklink store tour, which I had just cases that opened up that I sorted everything into, and I had like a 3-tier drawer system that had bags of stuff in it. It was very small. At the beginning of that video, I showed outside our front porch, we have this open land next to our house that I'm like, hopefully someday I can build a building there, like a nice barn, but I plan on having other usable, like personal places there, making like an apartment in the back, maybe. I don't know. Maybe one of our kids wants to take this over full time and live there. I don't know. So that was a kind of a dream or a thought that was recorded, 6 years ago. So I thought, I said in 5 years, I hope to do that. So that has passed.
We're currently preparing for quite a large convention coming up in January, Brickvention, which I believe is the largest Lego convention in the southern hemisphere. Okay. We haven't done much in the way of markets and conventions. We've done a couple of small ones. We did one a couple of weeks ago that was a medium tier one. You do quite a lot of that kind of stuff. Do you have any tips for running? I know it's a very different market and they run differently, but whatever you have to say. I'm sure you.
Yeah. So does any of you ever watch the Brick Separators podcast with Ralph's Bricks and me? Did you guys watch? Anyone watch that?
Yeah.
Did you watch those episodes where we were at Brick World Detroit together?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. So that, I mean, I would lead you to watch that because he did a great job of that video showing like how I entice people to buy more at my booth by getting like buy 5, you get a deal, get $1 like. So my main thing is I have like a $5 minifigure stand. It's like, or at the bigger shows, it's like $6 each, or 5 for $25. So you're getting $1. You're getting them for $5 if you buy 5. People just see that. Oh, you just got to buy, 5 and you get them for 25. Okay, we'll just pick out 5. They just tell their kids, pick out 5 all day long. It's like, it doesn't fail. So that is definitely something. Just have the deals where it makes them, everyone loves to get a deal or think they're getting a deal. So make people feel like they're getting a deal and getting more. That's usually the best advice I can give. I don't think I could do this full time if I just did Bricklink. I would not enjoy it as much as I do because you don't get to get out with the people. I used to always say I have 3 priorities. eBay was my number 1 priority. Bricklink was number 2, and Lego convention was number 3. And I would try to keep those in place. Now Bricklink is definitely number 1. eBay is number 2, and convention is number 3 still. But I don't know. It's just it's a lifestyle. I tag the hashtag keep uploading, and there's lots of memes of me saying that, I guess, out there. So that's just my thing. Man, inspirational. So I use every time someone would send me a message and say, oh, your videos are great. I love what you do. It looks, you work hard and this and that. You're doing good. I would give them, they'd ask me for advice. Like, what do you want? What should I do? I'm like, I would tell them to, have fun doing it. If it's not fun, Lego is supposed to be fun.
Well. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. It was really, really fun to make kind of a different sort of video. This style I haven't done in the past. It's all been vlogs. I've done 1 informational video so far. But these were all clips from our previous monthly Zoom call that myself and Richie from the Yellow Brick Road run for the Australian and New Zealand Bricklink store owners, where they can, get together, collaborate, share tips, tricks, and just chat about the market here in Australia as well as New Zealand. In the last one, we invited a special guest on, Derek from Pop's Block Shop. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing a little bit about your journey. It's really interesting, and I love talking shop with other Bricklink sellers. It's really interesting to hear other people's stories. We all do the same thing, but very different stories behind it. So I was really, really grateful for Derek hopping on, taking some time out of his very, very busy days to just have a chat with some Australians. So anyway, I'm going to leave it here. This is a little just outro. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching another video. I'm really sorry for not coming out with as many vlogs as I would have liked to. It's just really busy at the moment with the Christmas period, as well as planning for Brickvention, as you would know if you have been watching the previous vlogs. My next vlog should come out in a couple of days, maybe tomorrow, maybe not. Again, it's just finding the time. YouTube is unfortunately still a secondary thing to Bricklink. The main thing is running the Bricklink store and making sure orders go out on time and making sure parts get uploaded. Which reminds me, I should probably cut this short, get back to Bricklink, get back to running my store. Please leave a comment, please subscribe. If there's anything you want to hear about, if there's anything you want to see, leave a comment in this video or on any of my vlogs, and I'll try to get to it, and I'll try and show you what I can. So thank you very much. I will leave it here. You guys have a wonderful Christmas if you're watching it in the present day. Otherwise, I will see you all in the next one. Thanks.